up, wake up. You know I love to see your face with no makeup, makeup.
Hey guys, so it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time. Some of you may have been wondering where I've been. Some of you may not have. But anyways, I have been the past 2 years been on my way to professional school. Currently, I am in my professional school program, which is dental school. So I've been working on getting into dental school, so that has been my focus. But I ran into a post on Instagram the other day, and it really prompted me to make a video. And the post was basically about how little there are of African Americans within the dental field. This post was posted by Rezu Doctor, and I'll put it in the I'll put a picture of it up here or somewhere. And it really struck a chord with me because I have noticed that there are very little African Americans within dental school, and there are some who are trying and not getting accepted. There are some who are just not trying because they don't know much about the field. So I want to just be here and show my face and show that there is some representation, and hopefully me making this video will motivate someone else to get into the field of dentistry or continue pursuing it if you are. So that's why I'm here. All right, so let's start from high school. So high school was when I really decided that I wanted to pursue a career in dentistry. Growing up, I knew I wanted to be in the health field. I thought, medical doctor, because, Nigerian family, doctor, everyone wants to say doctor. But, dentist is a doctor too, but a doctor of dental medicine. So I discovered it after I got my braces. So when I got my braces and I saw the whole process of how it worked and all that stuff, I found that I really liked going to the dental office, and I really liked the whole process. So I really just started researching from there to learn more about the dental field. And I found things that I liked, like I can own my own practice. It pays well, yes, but other things like I can outreach to the community. I can do so many things with this field. I can kind of build my own thing with it. So I really like that about it. So that's what really got me interested in dentistry. And I was like, yes, this is something that I want to do. Growing up, my parents, and my family, we always did medical missions in Nigeria. So of course, that's what led me to the health field, and from there to dentistry. So in high school, there's no specific courses you have to take to get into pre-dental in college. You just have to do well in high school and then try and get into a good college. In high school, I did do very, very well. I worked really hard, and I got into a very good undergrad institution. I can say now because I don't go there anymore, but I went to UC Berkeley. So I went into undergrad in 2010. And undergrad was an amazing experience. It was great. I really had a lot of fun in undergrad. But yeah, so when I went into undergrad, I knew what courses that I had to take. But I was not a biology major, a chemistry major, or anything. I majored in public health because you want to major in something that you're actually interested in. That's very important because you don't want to go through undergrad taking all these biology classes or chemistry classes and you have no interest in those. So public health was something that really interested me because it's a field that incorporates itself within dentistry as well. There's a public health dentistry field that you can also get into. So that was something that I was very interested in. So I wanted to know more about the public health field. So I really loved that major, and also I was able to take my pre-dental classes throughout my 4 years of undergrad along with that. Okay, so the main prereqs for dental school are, I'm looking at my phone here, are 8 hours of biology with lab, 8 hours of physics, 8 hours of English, 8 hours of general chemistry with lab, and 8 hours of organic chemistry with lab. And that's from the American Dental Association website. So those are the general requirements. But something that's very important to do when you start undergrad, if you know that you want to pursue a career in dentistry, is to kind of go to each school that you think that you might be applying to and look at their prerequisites, because every school's prerequisite for dental school varies, and that's something that's different about it from medical school. Medical school, most of them will all have the same basic prerequisite, but dental school, depending on what school you're applying to, they might require biochemistry, some might require calculus, some might require microbiome, anatomy, physiology, or some might require all of those above. So you want to make sure that you're taking all the courses that you need, especially if you want to apply right out of undergrad. For me, I knew applying right out of undergrad by my second year was not my portion. So I did try and take those prerequisites within undergrad, but there were some that I did have to take after in my post-grad. So in undergrad, I was very active. I was president of one or two organizations, vice president of one or two. I was in some other positions. I worked for a bit. I did some internship. I did some shadowing. I did a couple things just to gain experience and to gain knowledge, and just to prepare myself for the next level, which is very important. But also, when you're doing those activities, you want to make sure that your grades are here with those activities and not here. For me, my grades went here, especially my first 2 years. So I had to build up my grades my junior and senior year, because I had left them a bit behind. I didn't like fail, but they were behind. So I had to build myself up a bit. So when you come into undergrad, just be prepared to create a balance. It's not the same as high school balance. It's much different. So just become mentally prepared, because you want to have a social life. You want to do well in your academics. You want to participate in activities, but you don't want anything to be left behind. So you have to know what is important at what time. So I started to create that later on in my undergraduate career. Ooh, I can't talk. In my undergraduate career. Yes, I had my classes that I struggled with, but I graduated, so that's what's important. But after my graduation, I knew that with the grades that I had, I should not apply to dental school at that moment, because it would just be a waste of money, and dental school is very, very expensive to apply to. So upon my graduation, I was actually accepted into AmeriCorps, which is a service organization. I was fortunate enough to be accepted into working at a dental clinic in San Francisco. So I got a year's worth of dental experience doing participating in dental screenings at different elementary schools, doing front desk work, filling out charts and forms, and sometimes assisting some of the dentists, and just so much dental experience, invaluable experience that I probably would not have gotten anywhere else. So that was something that I know a lot of schools liked in my application, especially the school that I'm attending now. They really liked that in my application. So, but also during that time, it was a full-time position. It wasn't a job, it was service, but we did get a stipend, but it was a full-time position. So with that position, I was also still decided to take classes, retake some classes, and take some extra classes just to boost up my academic portion, because I knew my extracurriculars was up to par, but I also wanted to bring my academics to a portion that, was a little bit more competitive than where it was at before. So I took courses at Berkeley Extension and also at a community college, local community college in the Bay Area. So the classes that I took, some of them were retakes and some of them were new courses like biochemistry. So with those courses, it was a bit tough taking them and also working full time. I mean, like 9 to 5 I was working, and then I was taking classes, and then I was also studying for my DAT, which is the dental admissions test, which is a very important test as well to get into dental school. So that load I think when I applied to dental school, showed them that I was able to balance. The dental schools find it really important that you're able to create a balance, because that's what dental school is. You have to know how to manage everything that they're throwing at you. So during that time, I was taking those classes, doing well in those classes. I was working full time and I was studying for my DAT. So that, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot during that time, but it really helped me figure out things and figure out how I need to maneuver myself in life. Because there's going to be times when you just have a lot of things thrown at you, but you just have to work with it. So, but during the time that I did take my DAT, which was I graduated college in 2014. Yeah, I took my DAT twice. I took my DAT the first time, in February of 2015. Took my DAT in February 2015. When I started my AmeriCorps job was in August of 2014. I graduated undergrad in the summer of 2014. So took my DAT in February 2015 the first time, and that was after working and taking classes and all that, and I was not happy with my score. So I decided to break out the books and study again, and I took my DAT again in July of 2015, which was during the time of my application cycle. So I started applying to dental school June of 2015. So applications for dental school open during the summertime, like around June. Is it end of May? Beginning of June, end of May. So that's when I started my application. So as I was working on my application, on getting letters of recommendation, on working on my personal statement, on doing all that stuff, I was also still studying for my DAT, and I was also working full time, and I was also taking class that spring, but I decided not to take a class in the summer. So doing all that, and then I took my DAT in July, and I've submitted my application the end of June. So I took my DAT in July. I did much better than before. I was relatively happy with my score this time. So I submitted my application, I believe, a week after I took my DAT, because, I had been working on it throughout the semester. So things were already coming together. I had people review my personal statement. They liked it. So I knew my application was well fit. The only portion of my application that I felt, could have been a little bit better was my academic, but I was working on that, and I did all that, and July 2015, I submitted my application. After I submitted my application was a whole wait process, because it takes them about 2 months, 4 to 8 weeks to verify your GPA. So it wasn't until my GPA was verified that it was sent to the schools. And after it's sent, that's when you start getting emails to submit secondaries, which is a whole nother portion of applications and a whole nother cost value. So I submitted my secondaries. Probably I had them all submitted by September, August, September. Yeah, end of September, because my application wasn't verified till beginning of September. Very important when you're applying to dental school. Apply early. Okay? People told me this so many times, and in my head I was like, yes, I'm gonna have my application in the first week. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have it in. But didn't happen, because I had to retake my DAT. So things happen, but if they don't happen, apply early. But anyways, so that's when that all happened. So for me, the process was very long. It was very strenuous. It was tiring, but we made it through. We made it here. But yeah, so after that was submitted, that comes the wait process. When you're waiting to hear from interviews, when you're waiting to hear from the schools, when you're just waiting. And I waited. So for me, I waited, yes, because I only applied to 10 schools, I think 10, 11 schools. Most people apply to like 15 or more, but it was out of my control. how many schools I applied to. So I only applied to 10, 11 schools. Applications are very expensive. It's about 70 plus 70, 90 an application. Then you have to pay for secondaries. And the secondary cost depends on the school itself. And then basically the cost of my applications just for 10 schools was maybe around $1,500. That's just an estimate because I can't recall off top. But there's certain ways that you can go about paying for those things if you don't have the money for it. But there's scholarships, you can fundraise. There's different ways. Don't let these things deter you from this movement, because in the end, it will all work out. Like I was saying about the wait. So I waited. I heard my first interview in October. I got my first interview call. And that, after that I was excited because it was actually to my first choice school. But I was excited. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a few more. So I waited. November came, nothing.
December came, nothing. January came, nothing.
So as February came, and then that was my interview for the school that I'm in right now, and I did get accepted a week later after my interview, which we thank God for, because that happened to be my only interview and my only acceptance. So, you just have to thank God for all your blessings, because, some people do not even get any interviews or any acceptances into dental school and into medical school or whatever, because dental school is one of the hardest programs to apply for. It's very competitive. So I'm just grateful. I thank God. For me, if I did not get accepted, I would have kept pursuing the field. I was planning on applying to some master's programs just to boost up the end that I knew wasn't proficient enough. So I was so excited. I was so grateful. I was so happy. It was about, I would say, after undergrad, it was 2 years of just strenuous hard work. Like I barely did anything. That's why I never made any videos. Like in my senior year of undergrad is when I started making YouTube videos. And then after that, I was like, there's no time. I gotta get into school. I gotta get into dental school. And I did. So now, I feel like since I'm in my program, I wanted to come back and, make this video and tell you guys where I've been. A lot of people don't realize the importance of oral health care and how oral health care affects the whole body. So I think dentistry is a very important field. And, a lot of people know that, but not many. So it's a very important field that is very underrepresented by African Americans. And it's really unfortunate because, we don't know why this underrepresentation is happening. We are the ones who are going to serve our communities. So the less of us that there are, the less of us that are outreaching to our community. So I think that it's very important that we as African Americans try to see this field and try to come and uplift it, because that post that I saw on Instagram motivated me to make this video, and hopefully this video will motivate someone else to pursue a career in dentistry or keep pursuing a career in dentistry, because there's times that you may give up on pursuing it because it's a very difficult field to get into. So I just hope that this video will motivate someone and say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it too. It doesn't matter if you get 1 acceptance, 2 acceptance, 3, 0. Just keep pushing and keep trying, and then you can make it too. So I really hope this video will reach somebody. And yeah, thank you.